Wake up. Welcome to the reaction. We're getting into it right now. It's Dion Zora, and let's get into it. This is about Mr. Beast. If you haven't seen part 1 of Dogpack 404's video, watch that first, then come back to me, and yeah, we're gonna get into it. This is a bunch of stuff going on with Mr. Beast. If you don't know, Mr. Beast has been accused of a few things. He's been accused of knowing Chris Tyson's past with minors. He's been accused of illegal gambling, and he's been accused of faking giveaways and faking videos. It's been a lot, and Dogpack 404 is someone who previously worked for Mr. Beast, but now is deciding that he's going to try and expose him. So this is part 2 of his, I don't know how many part series he's going to be doing. So let's get into it. Let's see what's going on.
Okay. Content cop.
He thinks he's iDubbbz, by the way. There's no shade, no disrespect, but
former Mr. Beast employee Jake Weddle.
I think he's trying to be like,
a lot has happened since my last video.
iDubbbz style.
After posting it, I got hundreds of messages from former Mr. Beast employees, and I had them all like send proof of former employment. You know, just people showing their support or telling their story.
Okay, chat, we're not going to read every single DM. I will pause them so that you can read them on your own time. And if you see one that I don't pause on, pause, read it. We're not going to read every single one in full because this is a 50-minute video. But we're going to go ahead and read the ones that we can read.
Stories of you know, fake videos. Or
Tyler Conklin, instead of saving $100, bought one of the employees a dog for $10,000. Weird place he can, instead of adopting. Okay. A new pet owner that could have used the fruit pet food. Had a home he's very wealthy.
Unsafe practices, you know, toxic workplace, stuff
like that.
Dang,
there's a lot.
I'm not really going to get into those claims because...
Hey, bro, that's a nice house, though. I'm not going to lie to you. If y'all want to help me get a nice house, too, you can hit that sub button, that like button down below, you know.
For one, like, most people want to stay anonymous, which I understand. And also, like, I think most of that stuff's just been covered with you know, the news coming out about Beast Games and everything. And also, I have, like, more serious allegations that I want to start covering. Also, I heard from a very credible source that Mr. Beast has been sitting on a response to part 1 because he was worried if he posted it, I would instantly respond with part 2, you know, like a...
I'm a little finished.
Like this is Kids Bop, Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. Also, I know Mr. Beast's secret CEO has been practically like harassing my people on...
Secret CEO? Is he saying Mr. Beast, Jimmy Donaldson, is not the CEO of Mr. Beast, the company, LLC? Is that what he's saying? Back to what I was originally going to say. I think that this whole situation, for one, is crazy. Personally, I don't care if Mr. Beast is faking his content. It's bigger. It's a bigger deal if Mr. Beast is doing it. One, because he's the biggest YouTuber on the planet. But two, it's a bigger deal because it's Mr. Beast. His whole channel's identity is real content. Things aren't staged. That's his whole brand. I mean, there's more stuff into it. It's not just about faking videos. He's talking about people getting injured in these videos, people getting set up, people faking getting things to... It's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to let him talk about it. He's the expert on it. I'm just a reactor. So I'm going to be reacting.
You know, hey, what's in part 2? What?
He might be insane.
What does he know? So I will just tell you, James, what will be in part 3, so you don't have to harass my...
So we're gonna get a trilogy, okay? This is like the Lord of the
Rings. About serious allegations of sexual misconduct in the company and your direct involvement in covering up those crimes.
Allegedly.
And I'll make sure to give you full credit and plaster your face all over the screen when we talk about that.
I love the passive aggressiveness. I love the pettiness. I love every single thing that he just did. Take notes. That's how you be legally correct and passive aggressive. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I've gotten dozens of messages from former Mr. Beast employees.
I'm gonna stop.
Of very serious allegations.
I know I probably just made somebody mad. My fault, gang. I didn't mean to do it to you, gang. My fault.
You can DM me.
They're gonna call me a pause Andy.
Proof of employment first, because I get a lot of DMs. And like, as much as I meme and joke around, like, I take anonymity very seriously. So without explicit permission, I don't go public with anything. And obviously, if it goes to court, I would hope they would censor your information from the court documents. I don't know. Oh, and former contestants.
Follow the Twitch down below so we can do live reactions.
Too. That's another thing I heard.
It's not a demand. An ask, please. I mean, I do something for you if you do it. You know, I ain't gonna say what I'm gonna do, but
my last video is during the 100 Boys versus Girls video. I have people corroborating the same story that the camera guy who gave the girls a drone was making some girls feel uncomfortable. you trap these girls and give the girls a drink.
I know in the 100 Boys versus Girls video that they fed us boys hours after the girls each time, and it really got on our nerves because it became blatantly obvious they wanted the girls to win. I know the camera guy who gave the girls the drones being extremely inappropriate with the girls since I started talking to them after the shoot made them feel very uncomfortable. So they're saying that they fed the girls earlier than the boys to make the boys starve, to make them want to get out earlier so that they could then eat because they wanted the girls to win. He brought this up in his first video, if you haven't seen that, which is a very interesting point. I wouldn't say... I mean, it's messed up. Obviously, that's messed up. If you're doing real content and you're saying that it's real content, you can't sway the odds in one side's favor for one team to win because you think it'll make better content. In terms of content, yes, that's a W, of course. Like, if you're just trying to make the best content ever, which is what Mr. B said himself that he's trying to do, then yeah, it makes for better content, but it's not authentic, it's not real. So don't portray yourself as real if you're not real and you're doing fake things for content. That's not how it's supposed to work. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed in this news. I've watched Mr. Beast for years. Not saying he fakes everything. This is all alleged. I'm just saying that if this does happen to come out and be the truth, which there's a lot of evidence pointing to that, with multiple things, I think that he needs to just be more honest. It's fine if you're faking content or you're pushing things for other people's odds. You know, if you want a certain group to win, it's fine. It's Mr. Beast, Jimmy, it's fine. But you can't say that it's real and authentic. You can't, I mean... You can't do that.
Making some girls feel uncomfortable.
Be genuine, bro.
You trap these girls in a circle and make them sleep on rough turf and get them high on paint fumes, and then you try to f them.
Okay.
What? I haven't heard about this.
That's really dark.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think
yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
Anyway, so...
The fuck?
That will be part 3.
Yo,
so, Mr. Beast, do with that information.
W
I know Chucky didn't want to respond to
W or
those
L community.
So anyway, my interview with
we don't have problems like this.
I chose to interview
you notice
him
how we don't have problems like this?
Because he was both on camera and behind the
side.
scenes in 2019 and 2020. And also,
we might have some
people don't know,
I'm still
staying
back
in 2021 to be the sole contestant of a Mr. Beast video, which never got uploaded because it leaked very badly. He also knows about another portable document format who was working at Mr. Beast while actually on the registry.
It's calling him a pedo.
And I'll get more into that story at the end of the video. So I got his DM, drove straight to New York overnight, did not sleep, just drank a bunch of caffeine, and I also only had one microphone in the...
Chat, how do you feel about caffeine? Me personally, I don't drink coffee or caffeine or anything like that. Usually, if I'm drinking something, it'll be a Rockstar or a Monster, and I only drink Monster for pleasure. I'm not really a fan of Monster because it doesn't do anything for me. You know what I mean? It doesn't get me tweaking. Like, it doesn't give me energy. A Rockstar, though, have me floating out of my body. So if you don't have Rockstars, you haven't tried a Rockstar, I'm not sponsored. Should be sponsored, though. Wink, wink. But... drink a Rockstar if you want energy.
Interview, which he's
I don't
wearing.
advocate for it though. Get natural energy.
Also, like final thing.
You want to get energy quick.
People said my last video started slow. This video also starts slow. It builds up over time. But I'll do the retention thing and say the ending will blow your mind. It's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Jake Weddle, everybody.
I'm Jake Weddle. Most people who, if you know me from Mr. Beast, I'm a deep cut. I'm in a few of the videos. Sometimes maybe purposefully kept to the shadows a little bit. I'm in the cutting room floor.
Better days.
A lot of the time. But I've been in some videos. I've worked on a lot of them. I was there from 2019 to 2020, 2021-ish when I came back and did some more. I was there when they were authentic, and then I saw the transition to what I feel like is a company. He's like a TV show now. It went from YouTuber guy with a camera to Amazon. The culture
so he's okay. So Mr. Beast. Okay, so he's saying he was authentic. He saw the money coming in. He saw the potential. He said, "I'm gonna fake videos." Fine, do that. Don't lie.
There was very unspoken, but there was a vibe. There was half the people who, if you made Jimmy happy,
he got the laser beam haircut.
And these people got random bonuses and were usually moved up, had more screen time. And then there was people who, if you had a disagreement or butt heads with Jimmy, or just you didn't like it, you know, you were in the other half. And I consistently was in the half that Jimmy doesn't like me. That's fine. I don't like him either. It's okay. Oh, it feels so good to say. I don't like Jimmy. I hate you so much. He didn't want anyone to
Dang, you said I hate you. Hate is crazy.
Popular or have more of a
hate is insane.
A way out necessarily. Like, oh,
I only have hate in my heart for one person. Y'all will probably not find out ever who that is. I only have hate in my heart for one person. So saying hate is insane.
I'm doing my Twitch thing on the side. Don't do that because you could get famous and leave and talk about me negatively. And I could tell that the yes men were, you know, doing well, and I was, you know, disgruntled for quite some time. So I've talked to reporters, right, like publicly, and I've always had to choose my words very, very carefully because I don't want to say anything I don't stand behind, obviously. Yeah. So I used to talk to people. I used to glaze Jimmy publicly for things I do genuinely think are true.
A lot of people glaze Jimmy. I mean, it's not Jimmy is Mr. Beast. It's not uncommon to glaze Mr. Beast. Everyone glazes Mr. Beast because they want to be involved with Mr. Beast. He got motion. You see the motion. You see the potential it could give you, so you glaze. I get it.
But then it's like, well, how come you didn't talk about the working conditions? Well, I wanted a career. I didn't want to, you know, speak ill of YouTube's golden boy, and then I'm blacklisted forever. I tell people I was talking to you, and they go, "Don't, what are you doing? You're going to kill your career." It's like, I have to, or I'll be sad. If this is the moment, we're going to talk about it. So, as far as that,
so talk about it.
That's my covering up of why we didn't talk about XYZ sooner, but now you know.
What would you say is the fakest video that you worked on?
He's definitely trying to be
idols. Video that I worked on while I was there. This is the extent of the fakeness that I was involved in.
Poopgang.org?
Admitting to my complicity.
Shut up.
I was there.
Does his shirt say poopgang.org? Who am I listening to, gang?
The extent of the fakeness that I was involved to. This is admitting to my complicity. I was a writer there, and we were working on a video, crushing my friend's car with a rock or meteor or something. It was a rock or a meteor.
Those are two different. A rock and a meteor is two different things. How can you not differentiate? I'm a little past.
He wanted to do a prank where, unbeknownst to the person, he takes a rock, crushes their car, and they're supposed to think a rock came out of space.
We're gonna take a meteor and we're gonna put it on Weddle's car. We're gonna take another meteor and put it on Marcus's car.
So they were trying to claim that
had no idea that we're.
This was the Marcus era, Chad. If y'all don't know about Marcus, bro, man, that was a time in the Mr. Beast timeline, bro. That was a variant right there. That man Marcus went off the deep end, bro. He went off the, you know what I'm saying?
Doing that. Weddle and Marcus are probably shocked. They had no idea.
And so that was the one and only time I had to, my car? What? And on the fly, I saw him, because Marcus was in that video. So Marcus is calling his mom. Marcus genuinely had no idea. He genuinely had no idea. But so Marcus is calling his mom, and his mom's freaking out. And I'm like, oh no, they're gonna call my mom next. So I had to text my mom, who had to beg to get the title very quickly. Now I'm texting my mom, I go, Mom, I'm about to call you about the meteor thing. You have no idea? Be surprised.
So he's faking it.
And then they go, call your mom now.
And Marcus
didn't know. I call my mom and I tell her. And,
so he knew when Marcus didn't know.
Oh my God, on the fly, she goes,
why would you tell one and not the other?
Mom, my car has been destroyed.
Why would you tell one without the other, though? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you tell one person if you're going to fake content and not tell the other one? Why not just be authentic or fake it all the way? Why would you do one and not the other? That doesn't really even make sense.
Jacob, I'm on vacation. Do you understand?
Yeah, I did that video, and they're supposed to give me $10K to put a down payment
terrified if that was
on
my mom,
a new car.
I've literally had to tell my mom and call her and tell her bad news a few times about car accidents. I've been in a few car accidents, and you know, I'm not gonna go into the details, but calling your mom, saying that the car is messed up, one of the most terrifying things you'll probably ever do as an individual. Hopefully it never happens to you. Happened to me though, and it's not.
And they wanted me to get like a big flashy new car, $10K
not fun
down payment. And I can't afford a big flashy new car because I work at Mr. Beast. So I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the taxes on. I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the insurance on. So I do my part of the video, and I get a mom van that I can afford. And Jimmy was like, why didn't you get a cooler car? I was like, I can't afford that, bro. Come on, what are you talking about? You know, if I was working on a TV show in the 90s, on a show that was a quarter as successful, I could retire today.
Chat, it's 1:04 a.m.
Now I
better be lucky. I love y'all.
Should pay, making gajillionaires more money.
WCDG, man.
TDG
for life, boy.
And that's one of the reasons why I left. was because
that's y'all, by the way. If y'all don't know, y'all are TDG. Okay. No? You understand? I'm not gonna say it again. Chat. We good? Cool.
As I just walked in there and asked for
say it back.
Necessarily
nigga. Say it back. Y'all don't love me though?
a gajillion dollars.
So ungrateful, bro. That's what I be talking about, bro. With this chat, bro, and this YouTube. Y'all don't love me though?
Was doing. And then, you know, I talked about that, and I talked about the Writers Guild and how
this is like this is ridiculous, bro. Honestly, I'm tired, bro.
Streaming internet content with ads, I thought that was the closest thing to YouTube.
You love me, gang.
I didn't even bring up residuals, because, oh my god, if I got residuals for every video I worked on.
Don't think that I'm not paying attention. I'm listening to what's going on, chat. It's just, there's not much to talk about right now.
The other thing I talked about was there was another writer there, older comic, black guy, he had a kid. And I got paid more than him, and I thought that was wild because he was older than me, had a child. We're doing the exact same job, and I'm some 20-year-old fuckhead white guy. Why am I getting paid more than him? I brought that up. And one of the things I didn't like about the way some of the V stuff shook out was...
He has an artist dead tattoo on his arm. Just saying.
I feel really guilty about the way this like shook out.
Is he gonna cry?
Yeah, I was talking to this other writer, like it's fucked up, you know, that's how the pay is, and I want you to get paid more, you know, because you deserve to get paid more. You know, I don't have a kid. And he didn't want to rock the boat. He desperately didn't want to rock the boat. He's just, I like my job. I like, you know, because when you grow up with, you know, nothing. Not to say that he did, but I know I did. You know, you get a little something, you don't want to lose it.
It was a yawn.
So he didn't want to rock the boat.
There's the tear. Don't wipe it.
But he said, "Hey man, if that's how you feel, you know, like if that's like,
he's a sociopath.
He stood with me. He went to that meeting with me, and I said my piece, and he backed me up.
My back.
I said, I need XYZ, or I'm out of here. And they said, bet, and they gave me a severance check the next day, and they gave him a severance check the next day. And if I knew.
I slept wrong, all right? It's not like that, chat. It's not like that, chat. I swear, it's not like that, chat. I had slept. You know what I'm saying? I had slept wrong.
Me,
and that's what had happened.
I was like, you're gonna give me
you know what I'm saying?
I get the leave.
I got slept.
Yeah, I don't get the deal with the. Yeah.
Y'all got it.
How many Orbeez can I fit up my asshole every day? You know, and I get to.
Y'all got it. Leon's lore. Y'all got it.
And he was devastated. He did not want. I said he just wanted to be in the room, you know. And I really regret.
Bro said, sketch?
That. But, you know, me and him were really still tight. We're still good friends. Is he doing good? Yeah, he's doing good. He's a good guy. I like that guy.
I'm not Sketch, gang. I'm not Sketch. No disrespect to Sketch. I love Sketch. All right? Pause. But I love Sketch, gang. Pause. But I do. Like, but it ain't nothing against Sketch. Sketch is still cool, bro. He's still in my top 5 streamers right now. No one's really, it's barely anyone really touching Sketch. So, let's not act like Sketch ain't him. But I'm not Sketch. Let's stop.
You're doing good.
Let's stop right now.
Yeah.
So maybe you feel better?
That.
Honestly, best thing. He's doing good.
Yeah. So maybe you feel better?
Honestly.
Do y'all hear that? Why the audio just fuck my ears?
Now that he's a
why the audio just assault my eardrums? Like it just went in and out. It just went in and out of my ear without consent.
I think Jimmy wants to be the best YouTuber. I think he is laser focused on one goal.
True.
And I think whatever he has to do to achieve that goal, he'll do.
And I
think it was the smartest decision for him that he calculated because he's very good with numbers.
Yeah.
If I donate to charity, people can't say I'm shitty. If I donate to...
So this is this is a topic a lot of people talk about, chat. They say that MrBeast's philanthropy channel is him trying to, one, divert his funds or whatever. I'm not a business person. I'm not rich. I don't know how all of it... They're basically saying that he's trying to avoid, like, tax it or do tax write-offs or make himself seem like a better person. There's multiple different things people are saying. But I think, honestly... 2 things can be true at once. Yes, it's better for MrBeast to have a philanthropy channel. 1, because it actually makes a difference in people's lives if it's not fake and he's indeed doing things like building wells in Africa and things like that. It's beneficial for those people because they need water. It helps. It's also beneficial for him because it gives him traffic to his channels, which furthers his brand and furthers his money to then further the content. I get it. It works both ways. Two things can be true at once. I don't think that having a philanthropy channel with the intent of making money is inherently bad, but I do think that if you're faking the content, then that is horrible. We'll see.
If I give this homeless guy 10K, what do you mean I'm a bad guy? But I've always thought, if you're going to do something nice for somebody, and you stick a camera in their face while you do it,
thing ever.
you didn't do a nice thing for somebody. You gained something. There was a homeless guy on the street, and you saw an opportunity.
You can't take them thick like I
for yourself and your image, and you gave one guy $10,000 who needed it to eat, and now the revenue you generated from that video is way more than what you gave.
But that's not a problem.
I think when he's generous on camera, it's the least authentic thing in the world. There's an element of, you know, oh, hey, you're crying. That's so good for camera. You know, I'm so glad he's... If you're crying because you're so thankful that you got XYZ, and then you go, oh, I'm so glad he needed it that bad so I could come in and, oh, can you cry more? Oh, it's so good for the camera if you could... Oh, it made me uncomfortable that I was working there. And
I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, I think that it's not as bad as he's making it seem. I wasn't there. I've never been employed by Mr. Beast. I've never been in a video. I've never been associated. I've never been anything. It's just an outside perspective. That's like saying I'm working on a movie set. I'm getting paid to be on the movie set. I'm supposed to cry in this scene. All right. The director is gonna make me cry 50,000 times if that's what it takes to get the best scene. If Mr. Beast is doing that, I don't care. If it's better content, it's better content. At the end of the day, what I'm worried about, did the person get the money that they were offered or did they won? Or whatever they won. Did they get the car? Did they get the house? Did they get the money? Did they get the island? Did they get the whatever? As long as they got it, at the end of the day, who cares if he makes them cry more? Who cares if he makes them act more emotional or whatever? That's what you do for better content. Now, it would be different if he was trying to go for pure realism, pure authenticity, and that was his brand, which is what he built it on, you know, previously, which is, I don't know, it's a moral conundrum. Mr. Beast, we can put it together that Mr. Beast is not the best person. But I don't think it's fair to say that him making people rehearse and cry more or do stuff like that is inherently evil.
I wasn't on camera as much as they said I was.
I think that it is inherently.
I was told at one point that I was going to be like fourth banana. You know, it was going to be
negative,
Jimmy,
but
Chris,
I don't think
Chandler,
it's bad.
Me. You know, and then that never happened. I remember talking about that. Like,
I don't think that it's bad.
And then
It's bad in the sense of authenticity for the content, but it's not bad, like. In general, if they got the item, then they got the item, bro.
After your severance checks, how was your relationship with the company? I know you appeared in videos after that, right?
Right. So in videos where I was appearing in later, that's why you.
Am I missing something? Am I slow, chat? I could be slow. I'm stupid. I'm not gonna lie. I'm mentally
publicly. If you're nice in public,
let me know.
Hey, Jake was nice in public. Let's have him back for something. You know? Yeah, sure. So I was hoping they call back. You know, and
I missed my tattoo, chat. Can y'all see that?
After I left, I think one of them was
I miss it. It used to look a lot better. Let me make sure y'all can see this.
If I did do mini challenges,
it used to be a lot better. It sucks now, but you know, I'll fix it eventually. It was a Bloodborne ring, same as this one. See it?
But there was one video
it was like that,
a lot for, but it didn't.
But
it didn't come out.
It hurt.
It didn't come out.
She busted my skin open.
There was a video that came out probably like a year ago, something like that. It got a lot of hot water when it came out. It was the like surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary or surviving in solitary for whatever. It was like one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, "What? You shouldn't do that."
Hold on, chat.
And people don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me.
Really?
And it didn't go well.
They filmed it twice. Why is he crying? What happened? Chat?
I was already planning on moving to New York, and I had worked at a couple of YouTube companies after Beast, and I had a little bit of change in my pocket. You know, the most change I had in my pocket ever. You know, small potatoes, compared to Beast bullshit. But you know, I thought I had enough to move to New York or whatever.
Yeah.
And I get a call from somebody over there, and they go, "Hey, they want you for a video." I was like, oh, amazing, great, cool, thank God. What's the video? And they tell me the pitch. And they try to make the pitch sound like it's going to be like a walk in the park. The pitch is 100 days in solitary confinement. But don't worry, like you only have to last like 30. We have like a video. They're pitching it like at first it's gonna be like a luxury vacation. You're gonna have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine. Terrible. And like part of the video is gonna be you deciding like what items am I gonna get rid of, today? And it's like the choice. They were like, it's only gonna be bad for the last like 5 days tops when you have like nothing left. You're the first. It's gonna be like a breeze for most of it. And by the end of it, after 30 days, you're gonna get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day.
I'm gonna let him finish because I want to hear why he's crying and I want to hear why he's upset and why he didn't actually get picked to be in the video after he shot it for 30 days. If he shot it the whole 30 days, to me, that's what you signed up for. Am I crazy? Like that's what he signed up for. If I know that I'm gonna be in a windowless room for 30 days, I'm gonna expect to go through some stuff, bro. You just expect that. That's the challenge. Man.
I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said, excuse me? I'll dance for you if you put that kind of money in my face, sure.
Yeah.
They were like, you're going to be locked in this room, and we got to make sure you're on all the time. We're going to have cameras on you all the time, and you're perfect for this because you never shut the fuck up. On paper, I was like, okay, I can do this, and I was. They always cut me out of the videos.
Was he not built for it?
And I was, editors have told me that it's because you have too much of a personality. And so with this video, I thought, this is perfect. It's a video they can't cut me out of. True. I'm the guy. And
you're the guy.
I thought, well, if I have to do this, if I have to do solitary confinement in order to do the things I want to do, then I will do that. That I held my tongue and I swallowed my pride and I tried to do one last ride. And I get there. And at first it's fine. And they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it,
Okay.
Which that's probably not good, the smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time.
Probably not for the next month, no.
It looked good on the visual. Like it looks good on camera. It's movie magic bullshit. It was a terrible facility. I mean, it was in one of the studios. They had to get a separate tank for septic stuff. There was a hot tub in it. Yeah, there was an ice cream machine. Things were cool and funny on paper.
I'm waiting to see where it goes wrong, because right now it doesn't sound that bad, but obviously,
think about stuff,
I mean, look at the time.
A hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system. Give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. There's not a hot water mechanism, so the hot
It wasn't filtered.
tub was a lukewarm tub at best, which was a silly complaint, but the shower was always
No. No. That's not a silly complaint. If the hot tub is just lukewarm and it's not filtered, that's a breeding ground for bacteria. If you go in there, you could get very sick for a month. You could get insanely sick. No, that's problem number. That's a big problem.
You're taking a quick shower.
That's a big problem.
And I had cameras 24/7 on
in the shower.
And the ice cream machine. Let's talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has 2 modes: on, and off, reeking of smelly dairy,
expired
mildew. So I got to choose which
not a good smell.
sense was assaulted at a time. I couldn't have all of them good. So the little
so it was hard.
Build up. There was the bug thing wasn't terrible, but it was a fact.
A few of these things are it's going to be hard for a challenge, and a few of them are these are genuine health problems that he could suffer from long-term effects. They're not the same. I can understand if it's a challenge, he's crying about it. That's one thing, write that off. Okay. It's another thing if his health is genuinely at risk. Not talking about mental health. That goes back to the challenge part. That's not okay. If he can't handle it, that's his decision. He needs to step up and say that. Not blaming him for anything, but if you know that you can't handle it, you can't handle it. But this is different. He's talking about health risks. He's talking about things that are in their control that they could make better for him, but they're choosing not to. That's not okay.
At first it was fine, and you're playing it up because it's a video.
People's health.
And it got to a point
mentally
where
and physically
they weren't turning the lights off. I asked them. I said, can we have nighttime hours? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw in other videos they did.
I get it. But that's another thing about the challenge. That's not a life or death thing. That's not your health.
Want to know how
I
they
don't
figured
care
that
about
one
that.
out? I didn't have it.
The lights being on and off is irrelevant. I don't care.
So you didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. I don't know, like...
You don't know what time it is. You don't know what
lights are
day
on
it
me
is.
all
You
the
don't know what
time.
month it is. You don't know what...
Sleeping.
I get
could
it.
not sleep. And
That's the
I have
challenge.
insomnia problems now, but they might have started there.
Am I crazy?
I had good
Chat?
people looking
Like,
out for me.
somebody... Am I insane?
I had
Chat?
a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this we gotta stop. So I just wanted to turn the lights off.
Okay.
And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend.
Yep.
And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists.
Wait, what? Really? Is it sleep deprivation though? No, see, chat, this is what I'm talking about, bro. I get it. Okay, there's very specific things that sometimes make content sound worse than it might be. I don't know. I'm not him. I don't have his experience. I didn't spend 30 days in an isolated chamber. I didn't do it. So I can't talk for his experience. But I can talk from what I've gathered through my experience in life. And yes, it might be a war crime, as it says here. The UN considers sleep deprivation to be a form of torture and a war crime under the Geneva Convention and the UN Torture Convention. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, sleep deprivation can actually alter your mental health. It can actually make you develop mental conditions. It can mess you up. I get it. All right. But turning the lights off, I can sleep with the lights on. I sleep with the lights on all the time. I don't know how blinding the lights were. I don't know. Listen. Am I heartless? Chat, am I heartless? No, please let me know in the comments. Am I heartless, bro? Am I making like no sense? Am I just like am I a sociopath? Question mark? I don't understand. Me personally, I don't see the lights being off as a war crime or being on as a war crime. Just saying that's a little extra. It's a little extra there. But I can see how it might deteriorate your mental health. But then again, that's the content.
24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention.
That's the challenge.
I guess is what we're doing.
That's what you signed up for.
So,
I just smacked y'all in the face. I'm so sorry, Chad.
Melatonin. It's not helping. Then
so they drugged him?
Jimmy would
or
come
did he
in,
ask for melatonin?
like every other day for like an hour, to check in on me because he's doing other stuff. I'm just the guy in the cage over here. He'll come back to me in a minute. And so he'd come by, he'd get the shots, he'd leave. Sometimes he'd have a note with the director over the phone. That would really piss me off. This is the note I got from the director, from Jimmy.
Yeah.
When I'm receiving some cash.
Okay.
He said, Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans?
I'm not gonna lie, Chad. I don't think that that's terrible. He's trying to get content and make it engaging. You don't get to the top of any field, any industry, anything. You don't get to the top being this kind, benevolent, can do no wrong person. You don't. It doesn't happen. Business and kindness, they don't mix. All right. You can't make money or grow being purely kind. I wish you could. In a perfect utopia, you could do that. But guess what? We're not in a perfect utopia. So you know what you signed up for. You knew what it was. You worked there, right? He worked there. So he knows what it is. If you're selected to be in a video, if I'm selected to be in a video, let's say, and Mr. Beast tells me, okay, I want you to say how thankful you are that this is going to pay off your student loans. And I didn't even go to college. Whatever, bro. Am I still getting the money if I beat the challenge or am I not? The content, as long as the base premise of the content is what's advertised, then what's the problem? It's theatrics. That's the point. That's how you make better content. It's the theatrics. Did he get the money for beating the challenge or not? Did he beat the challenge? Because if they didn't pay him and he survived 30 days, that's a problem. Sue Mr. Beast. But if not, then I don't see a problem.
You know how hard it was to do a take of that?
Why? Am I
pretend to make it genuine?
Am I a sociopath? He's crying right now.
I don't want to have student loans. I don't want to beat a cage.
Why'd you sign up for it?
But Jimmy's the guy with the money, and if you do what he says.
Chat, am I brain dead? did he sign up for this, or did they just tell him to do it? It's two different things. Am I brain dead?
You'll do what you want. You want your student loans paid off? You just be in this cage. And you have power over people. When one person doesn't have resources and the other one does, and they hold it over your head, and you go, of course, yeah, I agreed to it. I needed it, of course.
I mean, yeah.
There's something about like
it's demoralizing.
having the cameras off me all the time. Like, I was not having a good time, but we were filming a video, so I was trying my best to be funny. You know, I'm a dark comic. You know, I got bits about. I had a very traumatic life. I have my dad is in jail for sexual assault of a minor. You know, so this kind of stuff is very near and dear to my heart. You know, I don't fuck around with this shit. Yeah, I have jokes about that in my act. You know, I joke about it because that's what you do in a traumatic experience. You know, abusive relationships. I get out of it. The first thing I do is I do a typine about it. You know, so I'm in this situation.
Dang, I'm not gonna lie.
My mental health is not good. My physical health is getting worse.
I don't think he was the right person to do that specific challenge.
I'm talking to the camera. And I'm being,
if he's not mentally stable and he's been through a lot, I don't think locking him in a room for 30 days is the best.
That's what I should be doing for the camera, but
so
it was too real.
Probably a lapse in judgment on Mr. Beast's team and him.
This one?
Not gonna blame him for that.
You know, if we're allowed
they
to
should have known not to put him in
have some time
that
off
scenario
of this difficult challenge, how come we couldn't turn the lights off?
Can one of y'all break it?
How come we couldn't maybe not have some time lapse footage for 10 seconds?
Did you try it out?
Yes. I was starting to calculate. I don't know if I can do 30. How much can I? Well, how can I manage to get out of here sooner? And still have a video and still have some cash and get the plug, man. I did. Since we're doing time lapse shots, and since they insisted on time lapse shots, I said, all right, we're gonna do time lapse shots. Bet.
I mean, it's 30 days. You need time lapse shots. It's how you.
You too.
You need it.
On with the whiteboard they gave me. And I was like, all right, yeah, go ahead and scrub that footage. You know, you got that whiteboard. Oh no, either that goes in or this footage is unusable. And then, you know, James Warren came in and erased it. You know, fucking, don't put that. Hey, we can torture him. Don't you dare let him get a plug in there. You know. Like we were playing up the joke. You know, it's like I'm the boy in the cage. You know, whatever. Like I'll play into a joke. Whatever, it's fine. It's just something weird about when Jimmy jokes.
I'm on a bed.
I have jokes.
Just thought y'all should know that.
Because
my back
hurts. Jokes from my dad. I'll joke with my dad all the time. That guy's a piece of shit. I hate my dad. But I have friends that make fun of my dad. That's fine, because I know their intent. I know where they're coming from. When Jimmy joked with my dad, and I said that to seem weird. I don't like it. We were doing that one of those hide and seek videos. Again, you know, at the time they were a lot realer. So I got caught, and when you get caught, you know, you go to the place where you get caught.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's footage of this. I don't know if I definitely didn't make the final cut. But he says to
type, I love Glicks 69. If you made it this far in the reaction, I want the comment pronto.
me.
I'll like and reply to that.
All right, you're going to jail. You know, like your dad. And like, it's a joke. But when my friends do it, it's fine. And Jimmy just wasn't my friend.
Okay.
He was my boss.
I get it.
And that wasn't cool.
I get that.
And so
That's
now...
fair. That's fair. I wouldn't want my boss talking about my personal family situations either. You're not my friend. You're my boss. If this is a business relationship, this is a corporate relationship, this is a whatever that is not a genuine connection, a friend relationship, you haven't been with me for years, months, days, whatever. You're not somebody I genuinely connect with. Then yeah, that's not cool to joke about personal situations like that, because it's not your situation to talk about, one, and for two, it's not your friend's situation for your opinion to matter to them to chime in or joke about. It's a sensitive topic. I get that. He's completely right in this case. Mr. B shouldn't have joked about
his
that.
Whim.
Me personally, though, you can say whatever to me.
Yeah, I have to
don't
do
give a
things
fuck.
to get
but
the
Mr.
cash
Beast,
I need to live.
I get it. It's
I got these cameras on all the
corporation.
time.
It's a business.
And
You can't say stuff like that.
Was unwell. I had editors coming up to me saying, "You good, bud?"
No.
And I was like, "Yeah, why? You're clearly unwell." And he goes, "Well, because the footage you're sending in is haunting. Because I'm trying to be funny, but I am mentally decaying, so I'm doing bits. Someone said there is a horror cut.
Link the video below. I know he's not in the official MrBeast video uploaded as he stated before, but if there's any actual video of the one he was in, I would love to see it.
And I'm sitting like, who's watching
Did they show
this? Like, who wants to see this? What is fun about this, the video?
It just seems, it doesn't seem like they show it.
I gotta get out. I can't do another day in a year. Jimmy comes in and I'm asleep. I don't know what time it is. I don't know, it's like 2 or 3 or whatever. He's like, why is he sleeping? I don't know, because I can't sleep. And he comes in, he wakes me up. And he goes, ask me why I have 2 briefcases. And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, oh, because this one's for today, you know, and this one's for the challenge. And I go, what's the challenge today? He goes, you're gonna run a marathon.
What?
You're gonna do the 22.6K, whatever it is.
I thought he was supposed to be
You're gonna do it on
isolated.
that treadmill over there.
Oh my.
The first challenge I did was a Rubik's Cube, and I'm dyslexic.
Chat. Come here, let me talk to you. Come here closer. All right, we're gonna have a discussion. Okay. Everything he said up to this point, debatable. Whether personally, I think it's terrible or not. This? What does me running a marathon? You're already mentally torturing me by being isolated in a room for 30 days. Not to mention the constant lights being on and all the other stuff that he's probably had to endure. It's fine. I get it. It's a challenge. What does a marathon have to do with it? Am I crazy? What does a marathon have to do with anything? That's the most wildest thing I think I've heard so far. What does a marathon got to do with it? I wouldn't have done that. I mean, for 300,000, I might have tried.
I was on camera. I don't.
But I don't see what it has to do with anything. Why would you run a marathon on a treadmill?
There was an element of, Jake will
randomly
one because he's in.
I'm already exhausted.
Yeah, that's
why
one
would
reason why they
you?
got me. Jake's.
That's a recipe for disaster.
He'll do whatever.
That's not
we
healthy.
Push him a little extra hard because we know he's good. We know he's. I couldn't say no to the treadmill thing.
You could.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel like you couldn't.
People who run marathons train forever.
They train for
still hard.
years.
Again, writer. Do I look like I run? I don't run. You know, let alone a marathon.
Yeah,
let alone
that's such a random challenge.
So,
why would why would Jimmy make him run a marathon?
You know,
that doesn't make any. That's not even an engaging challenge. If I'm watching a MrBeast video, what the fuck? Why would I want to watch somebody run a marathon on a treadmill? You see what I'm saying? Why would I want to watch that?
Like, did you have a choice or?
Based on the Rubik's Cube thing and based on all the other stuff, like there was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, you know? And if I refuse, it's just, well, that's the whole video. I guess the budget's, so much money up in flames because Jake said he wouldn't want to do the thing.
Oh my god.
And so I wanted to be a good sport and I wanted
what budget?
It's
a treadmill.
The cash, and so
You spent a max. I don't know how much treadmills. I don't know how much those things go for. You spent a max of like $4,000, $10,000, even. Whatever.
I said, how long do I have?
It's a treadmill.
Until I get back.
You mean you wasted a bunch?
I'm running until 3 a.m. All right, I got off the treadmill. Oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just.
That's an
lactic acid.
Bro.
I got off the treadmill and then the people that came in to like ice my feet. Make
sure. How has MrBeast not been sued?
Them
whatever forms, them legal documents he gotta be devious. No way he hasn't been sued for none of this.
Yeah, get psych in. And talk to the psych about how
it's punishing, it's degrading. Imagine being isolated from everybody in your life for a month straight. No windows, no clock. You don't know what day it is. You don't know what time it is. You don't know how anyone's doing. You haven't heard from your mom. You haven't heard from your girl, your sister, your brother, your friend, your aunt, your anything. You haven't heard from anybody. And you're doing these rigorous challenges every day. The lights are constantly on. You're going through terrible, terrible, terrible circumstances that you signed up for. But still, you're going through terrible circumstances. Who in their right mind would want to make you run a marathon? It doesn't even sound engaging for content. It really doesn't even sound engaging for content. It makes me feel like, why would I want to watch that? I'm watching a MrBeast video. I'm watching a MrBeast video, geeking, right? What do I look like sitting here watching somebody run a marathon in isolation? That doesn't even sound engaging. Jimmy?
Like I said, there was a lot of good people over there that was saying, you got to pull him out. Yeah, I had friends that did some freelance work. And they would tell me, they'd be like, yeah, everyone knows you over there. Everybody loves you. They go, oh, Jake Weddle, love that guy. Shame what happened to him. Like I'm a ghost. And I asked him, I said, how much longer are you guys going to keep me in here? And the guy goes, realistically, like at least 7 more days?
A week?
No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure, everything was fine. So I just, slept for a while. They turned the lights off. And they brought in all my friends, to make it. They brought it on.
Is he going for an Oscar? Or is he just emotional?
And Jimmy. Then everybody was around me making sure I was good, making sure I was okay.
No offense to him. Me personally though, I'm just not gonna cry that much. I'm just not gonna cry that much. Like it couldn't have been that traumatic.
But Jimmy had
you know what I mean? Like there's worse things out there.
He was sitting in the chair, turned around like an evil villain. Swear to God, everyone was looking at me, and he was like Lex Luthor over there. He turns around, he stands up.
Wipe the tear off
the
your
exact
face,
same
bro.
thing when he's pretending to have a human connection.
Am I the only one that thinks it's mad uncomfortable to have a tear coming down your face and you don't wipe it? Like it just feels weird running down my face. It doesn't feel right. Like it feels weird.
When
whatever.
you're
I'm weird, bro. Thank you.
He's like, oh, stop! You're gonna make me cry. And he like touches his eye or whatever, as if he's crying. He's just.
They'll add it in post. I know.
I didn't have to pretend to do that shit. She says, as if rehearsed by his lawyers. Yeah, your mental health's the most important thing. Just want to make sure you're okay. And the last thing we want you to do is. I can almost hear the word Sue come out of his mouth. The S. He just stopped right before it got out.
Jimmy. You think you're slick. This is what I be saying, bro. How does Mr. Beast not get sued, bro? He should be sued into oblivion. If stuff like this is true, then it's not the only time it's happened, and it's a constant occurrence. And I do know from the previous video that Dogpack uploaded that multiple people in the Mr. Beast games, the Amazon series that Mr. Beast is doing, have been injured, had bones broken, have been like starved. There's been a bunch of allegations that have been brought to Mr. Beast from the Mr. Beast games. So I'm assuming some legal action is happening, but I'm not too privy on if that's true or not. But why did it take this long? Am I the only one? Why did it take this long? There's been multiple instances, if this is true, that Mr. Beast has neglected, like totally neglected proper health concerns, proper just everything that has to do with safety. So I'm not gonna say everything, that's crazy, but some things like the jacuzzi with no filtration and no actual heater in it, it's just lukewarm, is crazy. That's a bacteria breeding ground. Making him run a marathon while you're mentally and physically exhausting him in a room where he doesn't even know what day it is crazy. I don't know what legal team he has. I know it's a fire legal team because he's the biggest YouTuber on the planet, but that's insane.
I did not get the 300K. What I got, he goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned.
What did he earn?
You were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, 100,000 some change,
That's not bad. I'll take 100K, especially.
You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent $44,000 in taxes alone. And now I spent all that money on doing stand-up. I bought plane tickets to go do comedy festivals. My family back home, I gave them a bunch of stuff that they needed. And
don't blame Mr. Beast for that, though. That's your financial decisions. That's not his financial decisions. Did he give you $100,000? Did he?
Then back.
That's not his problem.
in any official capacity or unofficial capacity.
That's still a lot of money. That's more money than I would make in like 3 years.
And then they did the video with somebody else, and they worked out.
That's an insane amount of money for free.
And then
well, not free because you had to earn it, but you know what I mean. Like that, you didn't work.
And I've wanted to say a lot of this
12
for
years,
a long
5
time.
years, 10,
and
whatever. You didn't work.
I feel good though.
I would have done it. I want to cry.
That's how you get that off there.
So I just want to hop in here and show some text that Jake sent me after this interview. This is July 29, 2021, a few days after he got out of solitary. How are you feeling after a few days? Better. I still couldn't sleep even a few days out, but I almost have my sleep cycle back on track.
Guys,
my legs and joints are good, but the blisters on my feet still hurt to walk on.
I can't
Medical advice I got
see
was
my screen
not to lance
because
them
I'm using a
just
laptop.
let them go away with
I don't
time.
have multiple monitors.
I'm mentally still
so I can't
in an uneasy
see
place,
how
but I've
y'all
gotten
see the
back
video.
on better
Am I
health.
blocking
My
anything?
therapist
Let me
is a
know if I
little
should move my
concerned,
face cam
but we are working
somewhere
on things.
else.
Reminder, this is not supposed to be a traumatic life event. This is supposed to be a Mr. Beast video. Hey Jake, hope you're doing okay. Meg and I just wanted to check in on you. Hey, I'm good and I appreciate that. I'm not exactly 100%. I feel like mentally I'm still recovering a bit, but back in therapy and my therapist is concerned. Haha, but my legs and joints feel better. Like I can walk, but my feet are still covered on those blisters and those hurt to walk on. But I was told the best thing to do is stay off my feet and let them heal. I'm in Raleigh with my family. Also, it'll be like a month before I get the money, and they aren't giving me all the money. They're giving me what I won up to that point in the game, which was also a slap in the face, but hey, I'm out, I'm alive. Therapist who knows and cares about you. The whole thing was so fucked, and honestly, fuck them for not...
Why is it a slap in the face? Am I the only one? Am I missing something? Am I yapping too much? I do have a degree in yapology, if you didn't know. But is it, am I crazy? He earned the money that he got. Did he finish the challenge? Did he finish it? So why would you get the 300K? You got the money that you got because you earned that money that you got from the challenge. You didn't win the challenge. A lot of Mr. Beast contestants, whether it be real or fake, whatever, not going to go into that right now. A lot of those contestants walk away with nothing or like $1,000 or $2,000, which is better than nothing. Don't get me wrong. But it's not the agreed upon amount for winning because they didn't win. You didn't win. What am I
giving you the money? Meg and I are wishing you the best with your recovery. And
it's not a slap in the face.
If you need
earned
anyone
the money,
to talk
you still
to,
got 100 bands,
you need a place to crash in New York. Hope you're doing well, man. That video you uploaded is money. So good. I appreciate. I'm doing better physically. Mentally, I'm still kind of in a place. I still can't sleep. I've slept 5 hours in the past 3 days, marathon included. I don't know what's wrong with me.
That's terrible.
Lots of thinking, too much, one might say. Hope they're taking care of you where they can. I mean, I was kind of shocked they didn't pay me for the full 25, 30 days. They paid me what I made up to that point. Like even when we have to pull the plug for my mental health, the mechanism of the game is still at play. I'm just happy to be out. I still can't walk well, but it hurts less.
Hold on.
And like, I'm not play.
I mean, I was kind of shocked they didn't pay me for the full 25 to 30 days. They paid me what I made up to that point. Like, even when we have to pull the plug for our mental health, the mechanism of the game is still at play. I'm just happy to be out. I still can't walk well, but it hurts less. So he didn't.
I'm just happy to be out. I still can't walk well, but it hurts less. And like, I'm not famous enough to burn a bridge. So at the end of the day, I'm still Jimmy's bitch. Like if I was Carl and he did that to me, I'd ruin him. And they want to do it again. That could be your leverage. If the guy breaks down also, 2 is better than 1. Yeah, right. I told them everything they did to me that they can't do again in order to make sure the other person doesn't break down as fast. But like the way the video is meant to function is the problem. It's a bad idea, full stop. It sounds clickbaity, sounds right up Jimmy's alley, but it's morally unethical like on every level. Off-camera breaks, lights off at night, visitation, take the marathon out. Marathon is a video in itself. You can't expect someone to exert themselves like that for 45 seconds of content. The challenges really made it feel dehumanizing, felt like a parody of Mr. Beast. I felt like the homeless guy they could exploit. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. Part of me wants the footage burned and part of me
I don't know
thinks that there's a great horror cut in there. LMAO, he was so fake when he came in and said he cared about my mental health. They must have programmed the care about mental health updates. He said, we also don't want you to... And I swear to our Lord and Savior, he stopped himself from saying sue. Also, as far as like, He could have said no. He could have left at any time. I want to show this segment from an internal document at
Okay.
MrBeast called How to Succeed in MrBeast Production.
Oh.
Specifically on page 19, there's a paragraph called No Does Not Mean No.
What? Chat, I don't live for myself. My mother and my brothers are in the room. I can't be that loud. I apologize. But what the fuck? What do you mean no doesn't mean no? What? What? This is an official MrBeast document? This is documented? For all his production? What do you mean no doesn't mean no? Let me read this, and then we'll see what he says about it. When dealing with the people outside of MrBeast section, never take no at face value. If we need a store to buy everything inside of, and you call the local Dollar Tree, and the person answers no, you can't film here, that literally doesn't mean any. Whoa. Talk to the other employees, see if there are any fans or any kids that are fans. Try to talk to their boss. Their bosses have me DM them on Twitter and social scheme. If all other avenues are exhausting and you're left with a no, that doesn't mean don't try again at other Dollar Generals, because the manager of those can be huge fans and willing to bend the rules. So basically, he's saying no doesn't mean no, as in ask everybody that you can, exhaust all options, and if that fails, go to another store if it's a franchise and see if you can do it there. That's crazy out of context. That's insane. I mean, he's technically not wrong. If you really want to film at that location, is it scummy? Yeah, it's pretty scummy, but technically, I mean, if it works, it works. But that's a crazy tagline. No doesn't mean no, it's insane.
Already insane, because it's sort of, it seems to be co-opting the popular anti-rape slogan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a terrible look given the allegations that are going to be coming out very soon. It reads,
Whoa. What does he mean allegations that are coming out soon against who? Against Mr.
When
Beast?
dealing with people outside MrBeast Productions, never take no at face value. If we need a store to buy everything inside of, and you can call the local Dollar Tree, and the person that answers says, no, you can't film here,
I genuinely, I don't know.
That doesn't mean shit.
I'm not trying to be rude.
Talk to other employees and see if they are fans or if any have kids that are fans. Try talking to their boss's boss. Have me DM them on Twitter and try their social team. If all avenues are exhausted and you are left with a no, that doesn't mean don't try the other Dollar Trees, because the manager of those could be are exhausting here. And the way that it manifests itself a lot of the time is like a director might tell a producer, hey, we need access to 30 acres of farmland by Tuesday or we lose $500,000. Now, if you're the producer, you obviously know that means get it done or you lose your job. So what can happen is like a producer's calling up farmers saying, hey, I need to use your land. And the farmer might be like, okay, but you know, I have animals, you can't be making really loud noises, no pyrotechnics, and you got to clean everything up. So the producer is sort of incentivized to lie and say, or maybe the producer doesn't even actually know the total contents of the video, right? Things changed last second.
True,
so
it's very true.
They're very they're financially incentivized to be manipulative and sort of, they're put in positions where it's like, oh,
this isn't just MrBeast chat. This is, I don't want to say every, but this is a majority of the corporations and companies and LLCs or whatever you want to call it. This is the majority of places out there that need locations and need shoots and need to get places, like for whatever reason they need it. This is the case. You're incentivized to be scummy because scummy works. It's sad. It's not cool. It's not okay, but it happens. It's not just MrBeast, and that's not an excuse for me to say that it's okay that MrBeast team does that. But he's not wrong. It's very common. It's a common thing to happen.
A producer's job or a civilian's job.
People want to keep their job above all else. They don't want to be jobless. They have bills. They have family. They have things they need to pay for. They have a life. So for someone to tell you,
hey, maybe
do
the
this by
manager
this
would be willing to
time
bend the
or
rules.
you're
Well,
done.
you shouldn't really be pressuring civilians to bend the rules that could get them fired, you know?
Yeah.
I'll show you a real life example. This is unused evidence from part 1. I had seen this Reddit post titled MrBeast leaving trash behind and debris at film site in Aden, North Carolina. Apparently he left a large boat in a pond as well as debris around the film site in the bottom of the pond weeks and weeks after the agreed time frame. This actually rendered it unsafe for campers and almost delayed the camp's opening date multiple times.
That's terrible. That can affect their business. And this is why they set these things in place to begin with. When you go to a shoot, let's say the farmland, for example, that he was talking about. Yeah, if he has animals or he has any wildlife or anything that can catch fire or anything, that's why you set those terms. So like, for example, if MrBeast went to his farm, it had wildlife, and they were, for example, they were shooting guns at targets. That could scare the wildlife. It could accidentally hit something. It could ricochet. Anything could happen. So why not just eliminate that threat to begin with? that puts their business at jeopardy. Not Mr. Beast's business. That puts the farm's business at jeopardy. That puts these people in Aiden's, North Carolina's, property at jeopardy. That's sales. Like, if they're profiting off people coming in there to camp and do that stuff, then you can't have debris and trash and boats left behind, because that delays how quickly and how many people they can fill in that camp to then further their profits and keep it open. They have to go clean it themselves. They have to hire people. They have to spend all these expenses. You can't. That's
not being able to get in contact with Mr. Beast to get the stuff cleaned up out of the area. So I actually know that this is from a Mr. Beast video
do stuff like that, bro. If you agree to terms, then do it.
Where at the end of that video, he actually says,
"Don't just leave trash everywhere."
Yes, we did ensure the lake was completely cleaned up after this video. For the love of God, subscribe so we can pass T-Series.
Did he?
Yes, he says at the end of the video that they made sure it was cleaned up. I was actually on site for part of this production. I was at this camp. So I decided to send an email out to the camp, basically saying, hey, I heard these rumors. I'm investigating a similar incidents. And the camp responded, actually not denying the claims, going on to say, I am sure that there are no perfect film productions, just as there are no perfect people. I am grateful for the opportunity that we had to host the production crew, and because grace, or forgiveness, has been offered to me so freely, I will choose to offer.
My screen is so dirty, Chad.
So clearly alluding to the fact that there was a wrongdoing by Mr. Beast's production team. And that's like sort of the thing is, if you're around Greenville, you know these stories of people working with Mr. Beast and it being extremely unprofessional, them not doing what they say. But they sort of get by a lot on their good public image. And like, I mean, this camp offered to host them completely for free.
Yeah, they're the biggest YouTube channel on the planet, of course.
If you went to the lake at the camp and you went magnet fishing, like you'd find all sorts of debris that's still there to this day. Like they didn't clean it all up. So in the case of Jake Weddle, like I'm sure that there were producers who were in a position of, hey, if Jake gets out early, we don't have a video and your job is at risk. So there's a tremendous amount of pressure on top of like him being delirious from not sleeping and everything to just manipulate him into staying.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I'm sure this isn't like technically against the Geneva Convention on torture because he wasn't technically a prisoner. Like
he wasn't a prisoner. They didn't keep him there by force. He could have left at any time. He was still his own person with his own free will to leave if he so chose to do that. So yeah, it's not a war crime, Chad, for the lights to have been on. Is it scummy? Yes, but it's not a war crime. So
extreme pressure.
I don't think that point is
really
inherently
a reasonable expectation that he could have just, you know, walked out
because of the implication.
Yeah.
I think Jimmy is a awkward kid who maybe had it a little rough growing up. I can't speak on that, but I do have empathy for it because I had it rough growing up, and I think when you're hyper fixated on something, like I love stand-up, he loves YouTube, everyone fixates on a thing, I think he just wanted to be the best YouTuber so bad, and because the industry's metrics rewarded some not great behavior, if you're just going on autopilot based on what the numbers say, you can do some things that maybe aren't good, but reap reward. And I think Jimmy just did what the industry...
He saw the green, he saw the trajectory, he saw the money, and he saw the publicity. So he kept doing it. He's said this multiple times. Is Mr. Beast the best person ever? No. Is he the most charitable person ever? No. Is he the most morally good person ever? No. I don't think Mr. Beast is inherently a great person, and I also don't think that he's an evil person. I think that he's just so lost in doing the content that he's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that the content is the best that it can be. He's not a great person. I'm not going to call him an evil person either. He's just obsessed with content and with everything just being the way that he wants it because he sees the statistics skyrocketing, and it worked. I mean, it worked. So I can't really hate too much, and I can't not hate because he's done very scummy things. There's some things that are unforgivable, personally, that he's done, and there's other things that I don't think are so bad, that get blown out of proportion. It sucks in general, but just take this as a lesson in life. Every person that's in a very high position has done something not morally good. You don't get to the head of Amazon. You don't get to the head of YouTube. You don't get to the head of Twitch. You don't get to the head of Uber. You don't get to the head of the United States. You don't get to the head of any position like this without doing some shady things. It doesn't happen. It simply doesn't happen. You have to do some things that are morally bad. It's not an excuse. It's just how it is.
And maybe what this system that we have set up demanded.
Can you tell I have a degree in apology? I'm just saying, bro.
Didn't care who got hurt.
Why'd the audio change?
I think Jimmy surrounded himself.
Did his mic die? Why'd the audio change?
Really, really.
Why is it assaulting my eardrums?
Not so great people, and those people were the ones making the decisions. And I want to say, really important, there are so many good people that work at Mr. Beast who are damn good at their jobs. Like,
I'm sure.
When Jimmy comes in and asks for something impossible, it's these people's jobs to do it. And they shouldn't be able to make it happen, and they do.
He put some effort into that, and they did.
And so, I don't think people wanted to talk about stuff because I didn't want my friends to lose their jobs. I don't care about my fucking job. I'll die in a hole. I don't care. But I don't want my friends to lose their jobs. You know?
Yeah.
I don't want anyone's reputation to be fucked.
Yeah.
You know? But let's just go back to my dad for a second, if I may. My dad was like a swim coach, your neighborhood swim team. Everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Behind closed doors, he's a real piece of shit.
Oh, wow.
And so, when stuff starts hitting the fan, what? Him? No. Surely. And then, everyone, thought my mom was the bitch, for not, But then the news broke, that he did what he did to one of the students of the team. And it's
not
like when that comes out, you're not surprised, You just go.
Sucks.
When I saw my dad in the news, I said, "Oh, you idiots!" Like I was like, "No, what?" I was, "Oh, dumbass! God damn it!" But I wasn't surprised, and it was just consequences happening to somebody who was really good at avoiding them for a long time. And I don't know, everybody loves Jimmy, and behind closed doors, he is not super great, and that image is.
That's everybody though. Look, bro. Look, if you look up to some people, yeah, are there unicorns out there that are just great people? Yeah, there are. There's some great people out there, bro. There's some real rare, far in between unicorns, but that doesn't mean the majority of people aren't. Like, just I don't even know how to explain it. The average person, if given the opportunity to become as successful or as well off or as important as somebody like Mr. Beast, they'll change. They will. It's just simple. Like that's life, bro. That's just how it is. They'll change. And that's not to say that you have to be successful to be a terrible person, just as his dad was a terrible person and he wasn't that successful. No offense. But people inherently, anyone that you look up to, don't look up to them. You can take qualities of them and apply that to yourself, but don't look so high up at them that you become just blinded by them. Don't let it happen, because it's only going to end bad. You know when they say don't meet your heroes, it's because your heroes are typically the villain. Just life advice, bro.
Purposefully and intentionally.
Don't idolize anybody.
It's branding, it's marketing.
Idolize aspects. Apply it to yourself. Don't idolize the person.
It's YouTube.
Okay, so I guess, just one final question on a serious note. Obviously, the Ava Chris Tyson drama.
Why are his pupils so dilated? Do you see that?
And, that's...
his pupils are humongous. Bro, his pupils are like 90% of his eye.
Traditional media.
Why are they so dilated?
Did you witness or hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
It's crazy.
It's kind of insane. Like his pupils are
the most out of the main cast, just because I was on Beast Hacks. Now Beast Reacts. I don't know if it's still out.
This little circle on his shirt is exactly what his pupil looks like. That's
That was a lot of fun because it was just, being silly and goofy in front of the camera. And Ava was the only person who was willing to film. Everybody else was too busy or didn't want to, and I was just trying to do my job. Sometimes there'd be like an offhanded joke at the end of the roast. I mean, I'm a stand-up, so I'm very desensitized to that. I didn't hear anything that was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like when I saw, the reason I messaged you instead of talking to reporters sweetly like I have been was when I saw the Discord stuff. I never, because when I got there, it was like 2019. So I guess if the timelines add up, that would have been like handled, for lack of a better term. And then they started bringing more people on. Maybe they thought they had that under the rug. All right, we handled that. Now let's bring in some writers. And when I saw it, all that stuff started coming out, and the potentiality as of this moment of recording. I know this has been happening fast and stuff has been coming out so fast. Just the potential
that I saw Spider.
That Jimmy
it was a hair
could have been in those Discord chats, or even the potential that he participated in those Discord chats. After the shit he did to me, if you're gonna make fun of my dad.
If you're watching this, I wasn't ever trying to make fun of your dad. I was just stating things that you've said yourself and applying them to my own beliefs. I was never trying to make fun of your
my
dad.
career and reputation after this. I had to say some stuff. So whatever happens at this point.
Outside of Chris Tyson, did you really hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
Bro, he's got to be zoinked. No offense, allegedly. I'm not trying to pick dog pack 404. I mess with you, bro. I think you're cool. It takes balls to call out the biggest YouTuber on the planet. It does. It takes some kahunas. Some big kahunas. But your pupils are super big, bro. That's like...
I've heard rumors. I can't confirm or deny anything. I don't have any tangible evidence, but I've heard stuff.
Theorize why that's the
if
case.
it could be investigated, that'd be great. But it's like water cooler talk. But I've heard things, yes, of course. I heard, people have been let go for sexually assaulting some very young people. The idea that Jimmy...
It gets worse and worse, bro.
Or that Jimmy was covering stuff up. He didn't want stuff to come out.
Jimmy knew, allegedly. I'm just going to say in my personal belief, allegedly, in GTA, I think Jimmy knew that if no one else, that Chris, Ava, whatever, was talking to minors and hiding it. I do believe that there's ample evidence of that being the case. But that's not to say that I think Jimmy did that with other people and that he hid it with other individuals. But just for him hiding it from Chris, like that Chris did that, it's not so far-fetched as to say that he wouldn't have done that for other people. I'm just...
he's very careful about his image. The tangible proof that he knew,
it's ridiculous,
but covered it up. How do you prove that, Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything.
Why is this here?
Who worked there. If
you can't show it, why put it in?
And like you can, someone pees in public, you're on the registry, you get it. You can still have a job.
I should be on pause. I've peed in public before.
You're on the,
it happens.
That's one thing. You go to prison, you get rehabilitated, that's one thing. Like if you do your time.
I shouldn't be on the list. No. But I have peed in public. And if you're saying that you haven't, you're a liar. If you've never peed in public as a kid or as an adult, if you were never in the forest, if you never did, you're a liar.
Fine. I think there should be rehabilitation in this country.
You have. You're caught. You know what?
That guy.
Matter of fact.
From what I hear, I can't confirm or deny.
Smile for the camera. You're caught in 4K.
He's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people.
Talking like you ain't never.
And then
Whoa.
He's great stuff to some underage people.
What? Bro. I want y'all to understand, y'all are very, very lucky that I can't be really loud right now. because I would be pacing around this room and screaming. One? You're telling me Mr. Beast victims? What? 1 to 11?
And they knew that. He's working at a channel that has underage people on and around, and
not Mr. Beast victims.
Underage people.
Victims that are associated with Mr. Beast.
And they covered up the fact that not only did he work there,
wow,
but he was like the manager when it all started. And you know that he knew. And
2024 is really the year for predators. Can we just point that out? And if you think about it, you might want to say that's terrible, but I think about it as a good thing. Just hear me out. 2024 has been the year for predators getting exposed. Every one of your favorite content creators almost is been exposed. And it goes beyond content as well, as we saw with the whole Drake thing. But listen, I just want to say, good. Because that means that they're getting exposed and they're getting off the streets. All right, if we can expose them, then we know who to look for. So it sucks that it's happening. It sucks that there's victims out there. It sucks that things are happening in a way where that's common. But at least it's being taken care of and they're being exposed as they should be. Because and if they're getting falsely accused, then that's a problem.
He'll be in thumbnails. He'll be around. And whenever
but in the Ava Chris Tyson situation, that's not.
He's wearing a mask.
I don't even
wear a mask?
allegedly.
Why would you conceal your face? It's like what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender, and that your face can be looked up on a thing. How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender?
Who was that?
With a physical mask. Like, do I have to? Is it more on the nose or? I don't know why they let him go because there's rumors back and forth. You know, so I don't know why they let him go, but he did leave at one point.
Who is that?
Even if that guy didn't do anything.
I don't want to say the person I think it is because I don't want to associate them with something they're not associated with.
He's still around.
And I think I know.
What if he's one of the people in the Discord servers? What if he's not? I don't know. But when I was there, they called him Delaware. It's like, why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware.
Oh. You can't come to LA, my boy.
That's his nickname? Colloquially? Like, you know.
Yeah, that is crazy. How do you get banned from a state?
It's Delaware. Don't ask him why. You know? The fuck?
It's kind of funny. He's kind of funny.
The likelihood that
situation's not funny, but the way he
didn't know is astronomically low.
Yeah, like I was saying, Mr. Beast knows. Allegedly. I have to say that legally. Mr. Beast knows. I'm sure that Ava Chris Tyson isn't the only person that he's had problems with in the past that he's covered up for or hidden the fact that he has things, she has things, whatever. They have things not quite good going on. I'm sure there's more people. I'm sure there's more victims. I'm sure there's people that he has kept under like hush. I'm sure. Yeah, it's crazy. This Mr. Beast situation is actually insane. I don't think that I didn't have this in my bingo card for 2024. I'm sure Mr. Beast has other people. If he's done it with Ava Chris Tyson and he's done it with someone else, I guarantee that that's not an oddity. It's not.
Talking about Delaware. Also, apparently before this phone conversation got recorded, the person on the other end of the line said that the Mr. Beast team was actually trying to expunge Delaware's record off the registry. And that's what actually like sparked this person to start recording.
Feels like I'm playing that game on PlayStation 2 to y'all niggas. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? The Destroy All Humans, bro. God, that's such a good name.
People don't want to talk to us anymore because they're scared of Jimmy. And if you really don't do anything in the affidavits and testimonials from people, you have to move very quickly because one of those people are going to go back and say,
okay, so Reed is Mr. Beast's former manager who was in the last video telling Jimmy, you know, hey, don't promote gambling to children. So, you know, I think Reed's taken 2 W's this month. You know, don't promote gambling to children, and don't have offenders on payroll. Also, yeah, just from where.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you missed part 1 and you're watching this video, I love you because you're watching my video. Appreciate it. But if you haven't seen part 1, please go watch it, because Mr. Beast has been accused of more than that's in this video. Like he said, promoting gambling to children. Not quite what you want to have associated with your image. Not cool, not at all.
I'm sitting, it seems extremely unlikely that Jimmy wouldn't know, but you know, I know that I'm sure that's the defense he'll go with, so I'll just say preemptively, like, you know, if somehow Jimmy didn't know about Delaware, I think it's still such an extreme level of negligence. Like, what, you're not doing background checks, you're not, everyone at your company knows, but somehow you don't know.
That's what I'm saying, Chad. If he's done it once, he'll do it again. He knows. There's no way, allegedly, that he doesn't know. Like he's saying, that's a good point. Background checks. You're going to hire these people. They're employees. They have W-2s. They're employees. You have to background check them. You have to, you know what I mean? Like, you know who's working for you.
I think that needs more of an explanation than just saying,
allegedly.
I didn't know. Well, how didn't you know? How did this person get into the company? And you know, a company that makes content for children and is around children. So yeah, Jimmy, I think we need an explanation from you, or you know, your lawyers and PR people and representatives and spokespersons, and on how you could have not known that there was an offender at a high level in your company. And while you're responding to that, why not just respond to the allegations of rigging contest videos and selling fake signatures?
I think Mr. Beast will respond eventually.
You know,
I don't think that it'll be a video, but I think that in some way he will respond.
So yeah, just let us know. Okay, that was my interview with former Mr. Beast employee Jake Weddle.
Look at his pupils, bro.
He will be coming out with a longer
so
as well as other content.
Look at mine.
So I just wanted to shout him out. Jake Weddle, top link in the description.
See mine? They don't look like that.
I've waited a long time to talk about a lot of this publicly, so thank you for doing what you're doing.
Aww. It means a lot to him. I might have clowned on them. I might have said some things that might have made him feel bad or say that he's emotional or something, and that's just because I'm not him. I wouldn't react the way he reacts. That's not to say that his feelings are invalid and that his pain isn't real. I'm sorry for the things that you went through. I'm sorry for everything that happened to you, and I'm sorry that it affected you the way that it affected you, but I'm glad that at least right now, you're getting some sort of justice for what you feel you have been wronged by. And it sucks for Mr. Beast too, and it sucks for everybody involved. The whole situation is terrible, but if Mr. Beast truly did do these things, then it's his job to rectify that. So I'm glad he's at least getting his justice. Is that it? Is that it? Okay. While I give my final thoughts, we're gonna go through some comments here. And then I'm just gonna give y'all my final thoughts. I think, wow, 2 million views in 7 hours. Crazy. I think, honestly, there's no winning in the situation. I think Mr. Beast is wrong. I think a few decisions people have made, I won't name names. I think a few decisions people have made was wrong. I think Mr. Beast is wrong. And I think that some people coming at Mr. Beast are wrong. I don't think there's a winner in this situation. I don't think that there's a good. I don't think there's anything positive coming from the situation. I think that it just sucks either way. Should they get justice? Of course. If Mr. Beast did these wrongs, then he should get punished accordingly. But I don't think it's all Mr. Beast's fault. He's not this anime villain that people are making him out to be. But yeah, this is crazy. Hiding a sex offender with a mask on YouTube is insane. Like, yeah, that's, yeah. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and get this video up to y'all. Yikes, man, that's, oh my god, bro. I'll see y'all next time, bro. Peace. It's Dionzor.